week 12 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitches I looked at off the wire this week. The first guy, Taj Bradley of the Tampa Bay Rays. Taj Bradley, it's been a solid year for him, even though he missed the first month of the season with injury. 38 and a third, 2-4 record, 50 Ks, a 4.23 ERA, 1.10 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Bradley, he's gone out there and he's pitched good baseball over the last couple of weeks. He's turned things around, and last season was his rookie year where it was a mixed bag of results, but one of the top prospects in the Rays system, and now he's starting to ironing things out, is Bradley after struggling earlier in the month. A few games for Bradley. June 1st in Baltimore, 3 1/3 got the loss. 9 hits, 9 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. June 8th versus Baltimore, 5 innings, got the loss. 3 hits, a run, a walk, 7 Ks. And then June 13th versus the Cubs, 7 innings in that one, got the win. 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 11 Ks, a quality start. So right now, Bradley, he's had pretty much good outings. I know he's not going deep into games, only 2 quality starts in the year, but he's had good outings with a good strikeout rate. And nowadays, not many starters go deep into ball games. His next outing is June 19th at the Minnesota Twins is Bradley. He's available in 59% of fantasy leagues. And like I said, he's a top prospect in the system over the last few years. Last season, his rookie year wasn't that great of a year, but right now he's starting to get things going, and definitely a pitcher with good upside. The next pitcher, Jose Soriano of the Los Angeles Angels. So Soriano, he's available in tons of fantasy leagues, but the last few weeks definitely turning things around out there in 83% of leagues. So on the season for Soriano, 72 1/3, 4-5 record, 60 Ks, a 3.48 ERA, 1.18 whip, and 5 quality starts, but the last couple weeks, 14 innings, 2-0 record, 6 Ks, a 1.93 ERA, a 1 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Soriano out there in 83% of fantasy leagues. He's getting the job done. I know this Angel team, they aren't a good ball club this season, but right now Soriano, one of their bright spots in pretty much a season that's going to go nowhere once again with injuries and underperformances. May 31st at Seattle, 6 innings, no decision, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks in that one. June 5th versus the Padres, 6 innings, got the win, 6 hits, a run, a walk, a K, a quality start. And then a masterful ball game, June 12th at the National League champ Diamondbacks, 8 innings, got the win, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. So his next outing tomorrow versus the Milwaukee Brewers for Soriano. So he's a pitcher going out there. He's getting the job done for this Los Angeles Angel team. Like I said, surprisingly out there in 83% of fantasy leagues. And he's one of the top pickups, no doubt about it, at the pitching position. Going deep into games, his K rate's been pretty decent. And someone who's getting it going, and he qualifies at starter and reliever, which is always a plus as well. The next pitcher, Alec Marsh of the Kansas City Royals. So Alec Marsh, to begin the year, was pretty good. Then a small stint on the IL. He came back, he was decent. Then the last 2 outings before his latest outing versus the Yankees, he struggled. But on the season for Marsh, 67 innings, 5-3 record, 61 Ks, a 3.63 ERA, a 1.09 whip, and 3 quality starts. He's gone out there over the last month of the season, and he's been an up-and-down pitcher, but to have a good outing versus the best team in the league right now, the New York Yankees, is definitely promising. After he had a tough matchup versus San Diego and a middle-of-the-pack matchup versus the Mariners. So the last few games for March, June 1st versus San Diego, 5 innings, got the loss. 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks in that one. June 8th versus Seattle, 5 innings, got the win. 7 hits, 4 runs, 8 Ks in that one. And then his latest outing versus the Yankees, June 13th, 7 innings in that one. No decision, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. So Marsh, he's got good stuff. Qualifies at starter and reliever as well, which is always a plus. Out there in 82% of fantasy leagues, which is very surprising to me. Someone like Marsh, who's been going out there, and for the most part this season, he's been good. I know he struggled over the last couple weeks, but still someone out there like him, surprisingly, in 82% of leagues is surprising, especially in a division like the Central where there's not many great hitting teams. Tigers, Minnesota Twins, Chicago White Sox, worst team in the league, to name a few. So right now, if he's out there on your waiver wire, you got to go out there and get Marsh. And like I said, that starter and reliever eligibility, especially in points league, so is definitely valuable. The next pitcher, Drew Thorpe of the Chicago White Sox. So this White Sox team finally called up Drew Thorpe after he was having a good year in AAA. And I know Thorpe, he got traded twice. He was in the Juan Soto deal, going from the Yankees to the Padres, and then the Padres flipped him in the Dylan Cease deal. And in his major league debut, it was a pretty decent outing, I thought, here for Drew Thorpe, where he went out there and he looked pretty decent for the Chicago White Sox. I know this White Sox team, it's been a lost season for them, obviously, But Drew Thorpe's definitely a pitcher that has upside and a top 100 prospect in the major league. So his debut June 11th at Seattle, 5 innings in that one, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And his next outing's here today at the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Drew Thorpe, he's going to be a strikeout type of pitcher. He's going to go 5 or 6 innings. I know there's going to be some growing pains, obviously, for a rookie, and especially on a bad team. But also, as well, he pitches in a Central Division, which obviously I mentioned with Alec Marsh doesn't have a great hitting team. So right now, he's out there in 74% of fantasy leagues. And if he goes out there versus the National League champ, Arizona Diamondbacks, and pitches a good game, he's going to be owned in way more fantasy leagues. So right now, fantasy owners, go out there and get Thorpe this week. Next pitcher, Cade Pavic of the Baltimore Orioles. So Pavic, it's been a good minor league season for him. And so far, 2 starts in the majors, 1 good start and 1 bad start for him. Available right now, surprisingly, still in 92% of fantasy leagues. So we know this O's team dealing with a lot of injuries in the rotation. Kyle Bradish, the latest to go on the injured list with a UCL sprain. So Bradish on the IL, Dean Kremer on the IL. He's going on rehab assignments. And also John Means, unfortunately, out for the season once again. So on the year for Pavic, 11 1/3, 0-1 record, 8 Ks, a 4.76 ERA, a 1.24 whip, and a quality start. So right now, Pavic, he's out there in 92% of fantasy leagues. And with the latest injury in this O's rotation, obviously, he's a guy that you should go out there and get because he's going to have a spot in the rotation. I know June 19th, a very tough matchup at the Yankees here for the lefty, but I think he could go out there and show some things. In his first 2 outings of his career, June 6th, Toronto, 5 1/3, got the loss. 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 2 Ks. June 12th versus the Braves, 6 innings in that one, no decision. 5 hits, 6 Ks, a quality start. So like I said, his next outing, June 19th, at the New York Yankees here for Pavic. And he's a pitcher that has good upside. I know he was in a highly touted prospect coming up through the minor leagues for this whole team. But this season, he definitely turned things around, and they gave him the call. So right now, he's definitely a pitcher I would pick up this week, available in 92% of leagues. Next pitcher I look to is Mayo Mikolas of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Mayo Mikolas, it's been an up and down year, but over the last couple weeks here, he's definitely turned his season around, and this Cardinal team's played a little bit better of late. So Mikolas available right now in tons of fantasy leagues at 82%, and on the season, 78 innings, 4-6 record, 59 Ks, a 4.85 ERA, a 1.19 whip, and 8 quality starts. But the last month of the season, he's been solid, 30 innings, 1-1 record, 24 Ks, a 2.70 ERA, 0.73 whip, and 4 quality starts. A Mikolas season in the NL Central, where there's not many great hitting teams, a lot of inconsistent teams at that. And like I said, the last month of the season, to have an ERA under a 3 is definitely a solid number. And his next outings here today at the Chicago Cubs. An offense that's middle of the pack. Like I said, you got the Pirates in the division. Their hitting isn't all that great. You got the Chicago Cubs as well, where they're middle of the pack. So I think, and the Brewers, whose offense has been up and down this year. So I think Mikolas is a solid add. He's a veteran in this league, and we've seen some good seasons out of him. May 31st at the Phillies, 6 innings, he got the loss. 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 Ks, a quality start. June 5th at Houston, 6 innings, got the win. 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 Ks, a quality start. And June 11th versus the Pirates, 7 innings, tough luck, no decision, a hit, no runs, a walk, 6 Ks, a quality starts, of 4 outings in a row, and 5 out of 6 with a quality start. So he's going deeper into games, is Mikolas. He's getting a rhythm. And like I said, this Cardinal team's played a little bit better over the last month of the season. So right now, he's out there in a lot of fantasy leagues at 82%. Definitely a pitcher to pick up this week. Next pitcher I looked at off the wire is Tobias Myers of the Milwaukee Brewers. So Tobias Myers out there in tons of leagues at 95%. And he's been pitching well over the last few outings here for this Brewer team. On the year, 40 2/3, 3-2 record, 36 Ks, a 3.76 ERA, a 1.16 whip, and 2 quality starts. So the journeyman Tobias Myers, he's made some noise this season with the Brewers and getting an opportunity, obviously, in the rotation with a lot of injuries. In the last couple weeks, 14 innings, 2-0 record, 9 Ks, and 0.64 ERA, 0.57 whip, and 2 quality starts. So like I said, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues, is Myers at 95%. And if he continues to pitch this way in a couple weeks, he's not going to be available in many weeks. His next outing is at the Los Angeles Angels, a decent outing coming June 18th. And I think Myers, once again, could go out there and pitch well. The last few outings, May 31st versus the White Sox, 4 1/3, no decision. 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 4 Ks. June 7th at the Tigers, 8 innings, got the win. 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. And June 12th versus the Jays, 6 innings, got the win. 3 hits, a run, a walk, 4 Ks, of quality starts. He's not going to strike out a lot of guys. He's going to pitch to contact his Myers, but obviously he's been mixing his pitches up. He's been hitting his locations, and he's been getting outs. And this Brewer team, like I mentioned, with all the injuries in this rotation, Wade Miley out for the season, Joe Ross hurt, Theo Hall, he's on a rehab assignment. He's banged up as well. They need someone in this rotation to step up and pitch good baseball. And also Robert Gasser, who was pitching well, he possibly could be out for the season. So Myers, it looks like he's going to have a spot in this rotation for a while at least. And he's pitching good and definitely a pitcher to pick up this week. Next pitcher, Shane Baz of the Tampa Bay Rays. So Baz, he's been ramping it up in the minor leagues. I know he's on a rehab assignment for a little bit. Then they sent him down to AAA. But I think he could crack this Ray rotation and help him in a big way. So last season was a lost year for Baz. And this year, obviously, rehabbing from the Tommy John. And his latest outing, he went out there and he pitched well once again. So Baz, he's got high K stuff. He had a 10 strikeout game and then 6 innings of quality baseball. And he's throwing hard, 97 miles per hour in the minor league. So right now, he's going to get a lot of strikeouts, which obviously is a big thing, especially in points leagues where you can help fantasy owners. And surprisingly, Baz is out there right now in 66% of fantasy leagues. So right now, he's in AAA. They're going to need a starter sooner than later as this Ray team. Right now, well, Baz should be up any week now where he's getting his pitch count up and working deeper into ball games. His whiff rate has been great. He's definitely an ad this week. Pitches Michael Lorenzen of the Texas Rangers. So Michael Lorenzen, he's been solid for this Ranger team this season here. And I know they're still dealing with injuries in the rotation. Bradford's still out. Max Scherzer, he's working on rehab assignments. Jacob deGrom, most likely not coming back this season as well. But Lorenzen's going out there making the most of his opportunity. And even last season, Lorenzen was pretty decent at times, so he qualifies at starter and reliever as well. And on the season, 66 innings, 4-3 record, 47 Ks, a 2.86 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, and 7 quality starts. But the last 2 weeks here for Lorenzen, 17 2/3, 2-0 record, 10 Ks, a 1.53 ERA, a 1.19 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So very surprising to me, Lorenzen's out there in 76% of fantasy leagues. A guy who's been going pretty deep into games. He's been pitching good for this Ranger team where he's got a good offense backing him. And the division over there isn't all that great besides Seattle for the most part. And Houston, the only 2 teams that have competition with the Rangers, even though Seattle's been leading the whole way so far this year. June 1st in Miami, 6 1/3, got the win. 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. June 7th versus the Giants, 4 1/3, no decision. 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, a K. And then a bounce-back game at a great lineup at the Dodgers. 7 innings on June 13th. 7 innings, got the win. 4 hits, a run, a walk, 2 Ks, a quality start. So Lorenzen, he's not going to be a strikeout pitcher for the most part. He'll get you 4 or 5 Ks a game for most outings, is Lorenzen. But he's going to pitch to contact. He knows how to hit the zone. He's a veteran in this league. And when you got a good offense like the Texas Rangers backing you, you have more confidence to go out there and pitch a little loosely. So right now, Mike Lorenzen's definitely been doing that. And surprising to me, I know he's not a big name in fantasy, and he's been a journeyman for the most part, but that he's out there in 76% of leagues. No pitcher I looked at off the waiver wire this week here is DJ Hers, Washington Nationals. So DJ Hers, he's had 3 outings so far this season, and obviously the first 2 weren't good at all. But this kid's got some good stuff, and right now, after coming off a 13 strikeout performance, he's definitely someone to put on the list. But he's more of a 12-team league or deeper guy in points leagues. So on the season, 14 1/3, 1-1 record, 21 strikeouts, a 4.48 ERA, and a 1.72 WHIP with a quality start. So Hers, he was filling in obviously with the injury to Trevor Williams. Josiah Gray's injured as well. He's on rehab assignment. He might come back and take Hers' spot. But after coming off a great outing, I know it was the Miami Marlins, one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in Major League Baseball. He's definitely someone now to keep on the radar, especially in points leagues. June 4th versus the Mets, 4 innings, and that one got the loss. 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. June 9th versus the Braves, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. And June 15th versus the Marlins, 6 innings, got the win. 1 hit, no runs, 13 Ks, a quality start. So Hers, he definitely has some good stuff. Like I said, I know it's the Miami Marlins, but anyone coming off a big strikeout performance like that is definitely someone I would recommend, especially that he's available right now in 96% of fantasy leagues. So we'll see if he keeps his spot in the rotation. Definitely earned himself another turn around the rotation, even if Josiah Gray comes back. So right now with Williams and Gray hurt, Hurts obviously is locked into one of those spots in the rotation and definitely someone to pick up after a big performance like that. So that's a few pitches I look to hit off the wire for week 12 of the fantasy baseball season.